Hello everyone, welcome to Chelsea Sport Focus. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of breaking news. Let's get started. Big blow for Victor Osimhen as Chelsea completes stunning Liam Dilap move from Ipswich Town. In a dramatic twist that has sent shockwaves through the summer transfer market, Chelsea have completed a deal to sign Ipswich Town striker Liam Dilap, effectively closing the door on a long-anticipated move for Nigerian superstar Victor Osimhen. Osimhen, 26, had been widely considered one of Chelsea's top attacking targets for multiple transfer windows. With the Blues desperate to solve their long-standing number 9 problem, many saw the powerful Nigerian forward as the ideal heir to Chelsea legends like Didier Drogba. In fact, Drogba himself, along with former Blue John Obi Mikel, were personally involved in efforts to convince Osimhen to join the West London side last year. But in a decision that may reshape the club's striking future and Osimhen's own career path, Chelsea have opted for a younger, cheaper, and homegrown option in Dilap, a 22-year-old rising star who impressed with 12 goals in his debut Premier League campaign with relegated Ipswich. Dilap's move, a Maresca masterstroke? The move, valued at £30 million, was made possible by a release clause in Dilap's contract, which Chelsea quickly activated once Ipswich's relegation was confirmed. The striker has also reportedly agreed personal terms with the Blues, and his unveiling could come within days. New Chelsea manager Enzo Maresca played a pivotal role in this decision. The Italian boss worked closely with Dilap during their time together at Manchester City's academy and remains a vocal admirer of his game. Dilap's strength, link-up play, pressing energy, and movement off the ball are seen as the perfect fit for Maresca's high-tempo, possession-heavy system. Maresca has also leaned on his previous relationships at City, with Joe Shields, Chelsea's co-director of recruitment, also backing the Dilap deal. The club views him not only as an immediate challenger to Nicholas Jackson, but as a future first-team regular who could blossom at Stamford Bridge over the next several seasons. Osimhen, a dream. Deferred for Victor. Osimhen, the news is nothing short of a gut punch. The Nigerian striker, currently at Galatasaray, has had his heart set on a move to the Premier League. After a sensational season in Turkey where he fired the club to a domestic double and picked up Player of the Season honors, it seemed inevitable that a top Premier League club would come calling. Chelsea were the obvious fit. Champions League football, a rebuilding project, and a need for a talismanic striker. Osimhen had reportedly made Chelsea his preferred destination, and negotiations had been set in motion with the help of his mentors Drogba and Mikel. But now, with Chelsea locking in Dilap and showing no sign of reviving their Osimhen pursuit, that path to Stamford Bridge appears blocked for good. It's an unexpected setback for a player whose value, status, and global appeal continue to rise. What's next for Osimhen? Despite Chelsea's decision, Osimhen remains one of the hottest properties in world football. His performances at Galatasaray, where he shattered scoring records and became a fan favorite, have kept him in the spotlight. However, his options this summer now appear more limited. Manchester United have long admired the Nigerian forward, but their lack of Champions League football and financial constraints could hinder any serious bid. Arsenal have also been linked, but their focus may be on younger, more versatile attackers unless an opportunity arises late in the window. Then, there's the growing interest from Saudi Arabia. Several clubs in the Saudi Pro League have tabled massive offers, promising wages that could eclipse anything offered in Europe. While Osimhen has reportedly kept communication lines open, sources close to the striker say his priority remains top-level European football. Returning to Galatasaray is also a possibility, especially with the Turkish club eager to retain their star man. Fans and club officials alike view Osimhen as the centerpiece of their continued domestic dominance and potential European resurgence. A shift in strategy for Chelsea. Chelsea's move for Dilap signals a larger strategic pivot at the club. After years of splashing money on big-name signings that failed to deliver consistent results, the Blues, under Maresca's leadership, appear to be investing in youth, chemistry, and long-term development. With Dilap potentially joining fellow ex-City Academy talents like Cole Palmer, Romeo Lavia, and Levi Colwill, Chelsea are assembling a core of young players who understand the same football philosophy and can grow together under one system. This change in direction, while potentially frustrating for fans hoping for a blockbuster signing like Osimhen, may represent a more sustainable vision for the club and a more stable path to silverware. Chelsea given Rafael Leon transfer boost as AC Milan open door to potential deal. Chelsea have received a significant boost in their long-standing pursuit of AC Milan forward Rafael Leon, sources have told Football Insider. With the Blues actively searching for a new left-sided winger in the current transfer window, the Portugal international is now firmly back on their radar amid growing uncertainty over his future at San Siro. Leon, 25, has consistently been linked with a switch to Stamford Bridge over the last few transfer windows, with Chelsea repeatedly monitoring his situation in Italy. Milan, however, have so far managed to fend off interest and keep their star attacker in Serie A. But things appear to have shifted this summer, with sources revealing that the door is now open for a potential transfer. The key development giving Chelsea fresh hope is AC Milan's failure to qualify for European competition in the upcoming 2025-26 season. For a club of Milan's stature and expectations, missing out on Champions League, Europa League, and Conference League football has left them under severe financial strain. As a result, the Italian giants may now be forced to cash in on one of their most valuable assets, and Leon fits that profile. Although the Portuguese winger didn't hit the heights of previous campaigns, he still made a solid impact this season, recording 12 goals and 13 assists in 50 appearances across all competitions. Despite being some way off his best form, his raw pace, dribbling ability, and flair still make him one of the most exciting wide forwards in European football. Leon is currently under contract at Milan until June 2028, having penned an extension just 2 years ago. But the lack of European football and growing interest from multiple clubs could tempt both the player and club to explore a summer move. It's believed Milan would consider selling if the right offer arrives, likely in the region of 70 to 90 million pounds, although that price could drop if Milan are desperate to balance the books. Chelsea, meanwhile, have Champions League football to offer after a fourth-place finish in the Premier League during Enzo Maresca's debut season at the helm. That return to Europe's top competition not only boosts Chelsea's transfer pull, but also their financial muscle, giving them a significant advantage in negotiations over players like Leão. The Blues are expected to let go of loan signing Jadon Sancho, who failed to convince the hierarchy despite occasional flashes of quality. That opens up a clear vacancy on the left wing, and Leão would be the ideal player to fill it. The club's recruitment strategy, spearheaded by co-sporting directors Lawrence Stewart and Paul Winstanley, is now focused on adding proven quality and experience to complement a young and talented core. The potential addition of Rafael Leon would signal Chelsea's serious intent to compete at the highest level next season and beyond. What happens next? While no formal offer has been submitted yet, Chelsea are expected to step up talks in the coming weeks. With Milan under financial pressure and the player potentially open to a new challenge, this summer could finally see Rafael Leão make the long-rumored move to the Premier League. In the meantime, Chelsea remain active on several fronts. They're closely monitoring Crystal Palace defender Marc Guehi, who is also attracting interest from Liverpool, Newcastle, Tottenham, and Arsenal. Guehi is under contract until 2026, and Palace hope that Europa League football will be enough to convince him to stay. However, sources say it will be an uphill battle, especially if Chelsea decide to intensify their pursuit. As the transfer window heats up, Chelsea fans can expect major movements. With Leon's name back in the headlines and the Blues looking to reshape their attack, the coming weeks could be crucial in defining the club's ambitions under Maresca's leadership. Victor Gyökeres hijack, 60 million wonder kid, Chelsea's dream attack. Next season after transfer rebuild. Chelsea Football Club are preparing for a major attacking overhaul this summer, with Sporting CP striker Victor Gyökeres firmly on their radar. As the Blues gear up for their highly anticipated return to the UEFA Champions League, manager Enzo Maresca and the Chelsea recruitment team are determined to bolster the squad with proven firepower, and they may be about to pull off a sensational double swoop that could define their season. According to multiple reports, Chelsea have now officially made an inquiry for Victor Gyökeres, the prolific Swedish striker who has lit up the Liga Portugal this season with a staggering 54 goals in 52 appearances across all competitions. His remarkable form has made him one of Europe's most in-demand forwards, and while Arsenal appeared to be leading the race for his signature, Chelsea are now reportedly looking to hijack the deal. A striker reinforcement long overdue. For much of the 2024-25 campaign, Chelsea have struggled with inconsistency in front of goal. Nicholas Jackson showed promise early on but was hindered by injury and suspensions, while Christopher Nkunku's season was riddled with setbacks. With the Conference League triumph over Real Betis now in the rearview mirror, attention has turned to building a squad capable of competing on all fronts, domestically and in Europe. Gyökeres, with his blend of physicality, explosive pace, intelligent movement, and killer instinct in front of goal, could be the missing piece in Chelsea's frontline puzzle. He would immediately become Chelsea's main striker, a dependable figurehead who can hold the line, score regularly, and thrive in the Premier League's physical environment. Although the Swedish international has an £85 million release clause, there is growing belief that a deal could be struck for a lower fee, possibly between £65 million and £75 million, making him a realistic and valuable target. Palmer, Garnacho, Neto, the dream trio behind the number 9. While Gyökeres could lead the line, Chelsea's ambition doesn't stop there. Behind him, the club envisions a dynamic attacking trio featuring Cole Palmer, Alejandro Garnacho, and Pedro Neto. Cole Palmer, who dazzled in the final with 2 assists in the 4-1 win over Betis, is set to be the creative hub in Maresca's system. Operating as a free-roaming number 10, Palmer's vision, flair, and link-up play have already made him a fan favorite, and his partnership with a clinical striker like Gyökeres could be electrifying. On the flanks, Chelsea are targeting Pedro Neto and Alejandro Garnacho to bring speed, creativity, and directness. Neto, with his explosive pace and Premier League experience at Wolves, fits the profile perfectly for the right wing. On the left, the Blues are seriously considering a bold move for Manchester United's Alejandro Garnacho. Reports suggest United are open to selling the 20-year-old Argentine this summer, with a fee in the region of £60 million potentially sealing the deal. Garnacho, despite his age, has nearly 150 senior appearances and brings an elite mentality, technical excellence, and flair that can ignite Stamford Bridge. Replacing the old guard. If Garnacho signs, Chelsea may finally cut ties with Jadon Sancho, whose loan spell at Borussia Dortmund has reignited his form but hasn't convinced the Blues hierarchy. With Mykhailo Mudryk still sidelined and struggling to reach consistency, Garnacho would walk into the starting FB, offering more stability and end product. Noni Madueke is expected to act as a rotational option, with Neto occupying the other flank. The versatility among the wingers will give Maresca tactical flexibility and the ability to rotate during intense fixture periods. What happens to Jackson, Nkunku, and Guiu? In this new-look attack, Nicholas Jackson would play a supporting role, a rotational forward who can compete with Gyökeres and step in when needed. Jackson still has immense potential, but adding top-level competition could elevate his game. Christopher Nkunku is expected to be sold or potentially used in a deal to fund the arrival of new stars. After a disappointing and injury-ravaged season, the Frenchman has become a surplus to requirements under the new direction. Marc Guiu, the 19-year-old signing from Barcelona, is likely to be loaned out for regular first-team football. A loan stint in Spain or within the Premier League could accelerate his development and prepare him to return stronger in 2026. Chelsea's potential front four, 2025/2026. St. Victor Gyökeres, LW, Alejandro Garnacho, Cam, Cole Palmer. RW, Pedro Neto bench options, Nicholas Jackson, Noni Madueke, Marc Guiu, loan. Mykhailo Mudryk, return from injury. The verdict, a frontline ready to scare Europe. With the potential arrivals of Gyökeres and Garnacho, Chelsea's attack could undergo a dramatic transformation, from inconsistent and blunt to explosive. Victor Gyökeres shares Sporting CP award announcement amid intense transfer battle. With Arsenal and Chelsea, Victor Gyökeres has added another glittering accolade to his name, intensifying an already electric transfer saga involving Premier League giants Arsenal and Chelsea. The Swedish striker, who has been in mesmerizing form for Sporting CP, was officially named the Liga Portugal Player of the Season for 2024/25, a reward that caps off what has been a truly breathtaking campaign. The 26-year-old forward has redefined elite goal scoring, registering an incredible 54 goals in 52 matches across all competitions. His lethal finishing, relentless movement, and commanding physical presence made him virtually unplayable throughout the season. Gyökeres not only topped the scoring charts with 39 league goals, a staggering 20 more than the next best scorer, Benfica's Vangelis Pavlidis, but also delivered when it mattered most, helping Sporting secure both the Portuguese Liga title and the Taça de Portugal crown. As recognition for his season-long brilliance, Global Football Database Transfermarkt awarded Gyökeres the Player of the Season, an honor Sporting CP proudly celebrated on social media. The club's official Instagram post, translated from Portuguese, read, "E Victor Gyökeres has won the Player of the Season award of the Portugal Betclic League 24-25, awarded by Eran Transfermarkt Official." The announcement was met with a flood of admiration, including a like from Manchester United captain Bruno Fernandes, a former Sporting man himself. Gyökeres humbly shared the post on his own Instagram story, acknowledging the personal milestone as speculation surrounding his future hit fever pitch. Chelsea and Arsenal lock horns over Gyökeres. This latest development is sure to crank up the pressure on the transfer front, where Chelsea and Arsenal are now reportedly in a direct race to land the prolific Swede. The Blues, fresh off winning the UEFA Conference League, are eager to add more firepower to their squad as they prepare for a Champions League return under Enzo Maresca. The club is understood to have recently made an official inquiry for Gyökeres, with Portuguese outlet Record reporting that Chelsea made contact in the last few hours. Maresca is keen to strengthen Chelsea's forward line alongside Nicholas Jackson and sees Gyökeres as a perfect fit, both in terms of output and style. Jackson, while talented, still lacks consistency in front of goal, and Gyökeres' proven scoring record could provide the edge Chelsea needs to challenge on multiple fronts next season. On the other side of London, Arsenal are also pressing hard. Mikel Arteta's side is in urgent need of a clinical number 9 to take the next step in their title challenge, having come painfully close in the 2024/25 campaign. Sporting director Andrea Berta, who had previously pursued Gyökeres during his time at Atletico Madrid, is now focused on bringing the striker to the Emirates. Arsenal's scouting team has reportedly monitored the Swedish international for over a year and are impressed by his upward trajectory. Despite the fierce interest, Sporting CP remain resolute in their stance. The club's vice president, Francisco Salgado Zenha, addressed the mounting speculation earlier this week, saying, "He has 3 more years on his contract. At the moment, there are no offers. I think the answer has been given. We want to keep the best players and retain talent. We want to continue to be champions, have competitive teams, and fight on all fronts. Coincidence or not, in the years we've been champions, we've had fewer sales. Not because we didn't receive offers, but because the market is not entirely under our control. His statement implies Sporting will not be forced into selling their talisman unless a significant release clause is met. Reportedly around 100 million euros, 85 million. It's a daunting figure, but not outside the realm of possibility for Premier League clubs desperate for a proven striker. What happens next? With Gyökeres' stock at an all-time high, the next few weeks could be decisive. His immediate future remains tied to Sporting for now, but interest from England is snowballing by the day. Chelsea may hold a slight edge thanks to their Champions League qualification and fresh energy under Maresca, but Arsenal's long-standing interest and stability under Arteta make them a serious threat. As the summer window draws nearer, one thing is certain. Victor Gyökeres is no longer just a rising star. He's a full-blown elite striker, and the battle to sign him is set to be one of the most captivating transfer stories of 2025. Chelsea win the race for Liam Dilap? Transfer timeline revealed as Manchester United suffer major blow in £30 million battle date, May 27, 2025. Chelsea are reportedly edging closer to securing the signature of Ipswich Town striker Liam Dilap, as the West London club accelerates their summer transfer plans ahead of the official window opening this Sunday. The 22-year-old forward is one of the most talked-about attacking prospects in English football, and his potential move could represent one of the first major pieces of business in what is expected to be a busy window for the Blues. The race for Dilap's signature has been intense, with Manchester United, Everton, and Newcastle United also reportedly in the hunt. However, it now appears Chelsea have taken a significant lead, leveraging both their superior sporting project and Champions League qualification to their advantage, two factors that may prove decisive in beating United to the deal. The £30 million clause that changed everything. Dilap, who spent last season at Ipswich Town after a permanent move from Manchester City, reportedly has a £30 million release clause embedded in his contract due to the club's relegation from the Premier League. Despite being one of the few bright spots in a difficult campaign for Ipswich, the clause gives top clubs an opportunity to sign the young striker for a fixed fee, bypassing prolonged negotiations. Chelsea, Football, London understands, have been closely monitoring Dilap for several months and view him as a key candidate to bolster their attacking options. With Enzo Maresca eager to add depth behind Nicholas Jackson and reduce the scoring burden on the young Senegalese forward, Dilap fits the profile of a physical, high-intensity striker who can thrive in a high-press system. Chelsea versus Manchester United, the battle behind the scenes. As recently as last week, Manchester United were considered favorites to sign Dilap. Sources close to the player indicated that the Red Devils had presented a compelling proposal and that Dilap was seriously considering the switch to Old Trafford. But the tide has seemingly turned. According to a report by The Times, Chelsea have now moved ahead in the race, buoyed by a series of positive meetings with the players' representatives. One of the pivotal factors? Chelsea's qualification for the Champions League, something United failed to achieve after a bitterly disappointing loss in the Europa League final against Tottenham Hotspur. That defeat not only cost United a European trophy, but also a place in next season's Champions League. In contrast, Chelsea clinched fourth place on the final day of the Premier League season, securing their return to Europe's elite competition, a huge draw for any ambitious player like Dilap. The report also claims that Dilap has given the green light to a move to Stamford Bridge, with TalkSport stating that Chelsea are confident the player will sign. Time pressure. Dilap wants. Future resolved before U21 Euros. Timing is everything in modern football, and in this case, it could seal the deal. Dilap has reportedly made it clear that he wants his future resolved before heading to the UEFA European Under-21 Championship. England begin their campaign on June 11th, with their final 23-man squad due to be confirmed on May 31st. With the training camp at St. George's Park kicking off this week, all parties are under pressure to finalize an agreement in the next few days. Chelsea's hierarchy, eager to avoid the drawn-out sagas that have plagued previous windows, are aligned with Dilap's wishes. The Blues are prioritizing quick deals this summer to give new manager Enzo Maresca a full preseason with his squad. Why Chelsea want Liam Dilap? A product of Manchester City's famed youth academy, Liam Dilap is a powerful, aggressive center forward with a keen eye for goal. His breakthrough campaign at Ipswich saw him notch double figures in goals and provide consistent physical presence up front. At just 22, Dilap is still developing, but scouts describe him as a modern number. 9 capable of pressing from the front, linking play and scoring in a variety of ways. Chelsea see him as an ideal rotation option and future starter, especially given his Premier League experience and English nationality, which adds value in terms of squad registration for UEFA and domestic competitions. His signing would align with Chelsea's current recruitment philosophy, targeting high-potential players who can grow within the squad under a progressive manager like Maresca. Chelsea's summer strategy. Taking shape, Dilap would join a growing list of young talents being assembled at Stamford Bridge. The club has already confirmed deals for Estevão from Palmeiras, Dario Isugo from Sporting CP, and Kendry Paez from Independiente del Valle.